Throughout my 200-odd Terraria weapon reviews, I was for sure to get a lot of suggestions from you guys, which through the past year or so, most I've got around to. And today is no different, where we're going to be looking at weirdly my most highly requested Terraria weapon so far, which in my mind wasn't even anything that special. I've even said it needed a buff in the past. Of course, I'm talking about the Laser Machinegun. As mentioned, I myself has never been too fussed by this thing. But you know what? With a proper in-depth look, maybe it'll surprise me and become my new post-golem mage weapon of choice. Before we jump into it though, if you enjoy these types of videos, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, as it truly helps out the channel. Right, let's see how you get it. The Laser Machinegun is one of the many space gun style Martian Madness drops, meaning after defeating Golem, you can either get lucky and organically bump into a Martian probe in space, or try and force it with a few tricks. You see, for starters, Martian probes only spawn in the outer 2/3 of your world, and most commonly in the space layer. And here's the best part: if you're finding them a little bit scarce, by placing down a water candle in the area, the spawn rate of Martian probes in particular will nearly triple, making them extremely common. Once you've seen one, make sure to not kill it on impulse and let it fly off after detecting you in its beam. Right, with the event underway, you're going to want to just blitz through the first half of it as quickly as possible, which can be made a doddle with the Razorblade Typhoon. Once that first Martian sorcerer appears, don't worry, because although they seem scary on the surface, they're actually not that difficult to deal with once you've got them sussed out. The only slightly annoying thing is, with the Laser Machinegun having a 16.66% drop rate, it may take you quite a few to obtain. But as long as you keep strafing left to right of its main deadly laser like this, you should be able to take them out nice and quickly. Okay, finally after 5 or 6 kills, I got my machine gun. So let's see what all this hype's about. To be honest, I do have to say, its single target DPS did surprise me here, in a good way. You see, when firing, its fire rate will slowly increase over time, capping at 20, which with a base damage of 60 can make for some crazy high DPS that actually matches the legendary Razorpine. But you know what? Although both the Razorpine and Laser Machinegun have inaccurate spread, the gun does have significantly more range, making its damage fall off leaps and bounds above the competition. The only thing letting the Laser Machinegun down so far is its lack of piercing, being absolutely decimated by the Charge Blaster Cannon in the multi-target test. But hey, this scenario is extremely uncommon, so what's it like against the real thing? Well, once again, both the Razorpine and Laser Machinegun in close ranges operated almost identically. Like, the time to kill is just the same on these mimics. Saying that though, as you can see against these tankier single targets, I do think the Razorpine might have slightly outdone it here, but you know, it could just be margin of error. So I mean, at this point, what's this post-golem weapon really gonna do for you boss-wise? Well actually, without having similar DPS output as the Razorpine, I did find it to be one of the most effective weapons against Duke Fishron, allowing you to deal high damage from much further away. It is a damn shame this comes post-golem though, as we definitely need to remember the Razorpine is only a post-Plantera weapon, making it useful for much longer. And speaking of usefulness, the only real boss I could see anyone using this against is the Cultist. You know what? It did a pretty smashing job. The only thing is though, as always with this fight, you don't really need to pull out all the stocks, as any post-Plantera ranged base weapon will probably also do the trick, so its true reputation is at stake with the pillars. And well, yeah, it's not actually that bad of a choice, and in a way, the bullet spread combined with its high range made it a really safe weapon to chip away at the pillars with. Also, with still that Razorpine DPS, don't worry about any pillar enemies tanking hits, as it really makes short work of everything here. But you know, I'd still say these 2 parts of progression don't quite warrant going out of your way for this thing yet. So what's it like during the Moonlord fight? Well, you know that bullet spread thing I was talking about that's great against the pillars? Well, it's much less welcome during this single target based fight. You see, while it can deal an insane DPS up close, at Moonlord fight distance, it just didn't deal enough for me to be worth using over post-pillar mage weapons. So yeah, really nice for the cultist and pillars, but a little underwhelming against the Moonlord. So there we have it folks, my most requested weapon to date. To be completely fair, I do now understand why people recommend this thing, but you know what, I still stand by my word of it needing a tiny buff. Let me know your thoughts. This has been sockrteez, and I'll see you in the next one.